Carla Gray, an astronaut aboard a spaceship, is narrating her life back on Earth. She says Earth was dying, but she and her family found whatever happiness they could with each other. She remembers her last evening on Earth. She, her daughter, and her mother went down to the ocean, and her mother told them a story. In the story, there were 5 men in a tiny boat adrift in the ocean with only enough food and water for 3 of them. Carla's mother asked Carla how should it be decided which 2 men should die and which 3 should live. Carla says she remembers her mother's answer but doesn't know why her mother told her the story. She recalls that a few hours after that there was an accident and her mother and daughter both passed away. Aboard the spaceship, the Achilles, Carla, and the rest of the crew are hibernating. Carla wakes up before everyone else and takes an elevator from the back of the ship to the front. She arrives in her room where there are pictures of her mother and daughter everywhere. The rest of the crew wakes up. There's Tez, Sean, Ulf, and Sci, who is only on the ship because he is a blogger and wants to document the trip. Carla arrives in the command cabin and meets Captain Sen. Both of them observe the mysterious black sphere that is the reason for their trip. The sphere appeared next to Mars some time ago and everything about it is unknown. The purpose of this mission is to investigate the sphere. Carla asks if Sen has received any new data now that they are near the sphere. Sen says they have, but the data tells them nothing. Carla says their scanners are capable of seeing through entire planets, so how can they not see through the sphere? Sen says he doesn't know. Carla asks what is their plan now. Sen says they will proceed toward the sphere as initially intended. Carla is bewildered that Sen wants them to approach a thing that they know nothing about. Sci arrives, documenting everything, while Ulf throws out one of the ship's depleted cores which blows up in space. CEO of the space company Vance speaks to the crew through hologram technology. He tells them that the entire world is watching and waiting for them to discover what the black sphere is. Carla tells Vance that their data reveals nothing, even after coming close to the sphere. Vance says that the sphere is the greatest mystery in human history, and if their scanners aren't providing information, then they must find other means to investigate. He tells the crew to go speak to their families in their rooms. Meanwhile, Ms., the AI system that controls the ship, can take over controls. While walking back to her room, Carla hears the voice of her mom, and at the same time, Sci also hears some voices. A jet of light shoots out of the black sphere and hits the Achilles spaceship, damaging all of the ship's communication systems and cutting it off from Earth. Carla asks Ms. what the light source is and what hit the ship, but once again the data reveals nothing. Once again, Sen insists they keep on their course toward the sphere, and once again Carla is bewildered by this. A signal begins to transmit from the sphere toward the ship. Carla interprets the signal and finds out it says one word repeatedly, Deus, which is the Latin word meaning God. Sci starts freaking out and says they need to go back. Carla argues with Sen that they need to stop and investigate this more before going any further. Sen says it's pointless because their scanners are picking up nothing. He is strangely insistent that they keep moving toward the sphere. He says those are the orders and they must follow them. Carla cannot understand. Carla goes to comfort Sci. He tells her he hears voices calling and screaming and that this is judgment. He insists they must turn back. Carla, Tez, Sean, and Ulf discuss what is going on, while Sen watches them and hears them through surveillance systems. They discuss whether the sphere is actually God or not. Carla isn't very convinced, but the rest of the crew are scared that it might be. Carla says it's not God. Ulf says it may or may not be, but they have to find out. He says if it is God, then good, but if it isn't, they can always destroy it. Just then, all crew is asked to come to the command cabin. Ulf arrives in the command cabin and Sen warns him to not talk about destroying the sphere anymore. Carla then hears the voice of her daughter, and once again at the same time, Sci is also hearing voices. Tez tells Carla and Ulf that Sci has disappeared into the deeper parts of the ship and they have to go find him. Sci is performing some kind of ritual, carving symbols into his body with a knife. Tez arrives to get him and he sneaks up behind her. Ulf and Carla hear the screams of Tez and follow the noise. Carla arrives to find Sci murdering Tez. She tries to stay hidden, but Sci spots her. Ulf follows the screams of Carla and finds Sci holding her hostage. Sci says they need to turn the ship around, and Ulf and Carla tell him that they can speak to Sen about this. Sci says they shouldn't trust Sen because he knows something. Sen arrives and shoots Sci in the head. He tells Ulf to clean up the bodies of Tez and Sci. Sen and Carla are going back to the front of the ship, and Sen is being oddly nonchalant about everything that has happened. Carla asks if he knows anything about the sphere, and Sen says he only knows what the sphere says it is. God. Carla says she doesn't believe in God. Sen asks her why is she running scared from this mission, almost taunting her. He tells her the entire world is watching her and waiting on her to complete this mission. They arrive at the sphere. They separate the smaller module from the greater Achilles ship and land on the sphere. While landing, Carla detects that there is a structure on the sphere. Communications are restored with Earth, and Vance appears to talk to the crew. He tells them that the kind of structure that Carla detected on the sphere is now appearing all over Earth. Tens of thousands of such structures. Carla asks what the scientific community on Earth is saying about it, but Vance says no one has any answers, and it's up to them to figure it out. Sen tells Carla and Ulf to go out on the sphere and observe the structure. Sean says he wants to go as well. Sen is reluctant, but Sean insists, and Carla also agrees because Sean is the only other scientist on the ship, and she needs him out there with her. The three venture out onto the surface of the sphere. Carla observes that whatever material the sphere is made of is not on the periodic table. It is unknown. She observes that the structure she detected is actually a gateway. A light starts to appear from the gateway. A woman comes out of the light and she has the appearance of Carla's daughter. More signals containing words start emitting from the sphere. Ms. translates the words and feeds them to Carla. The woman in the light is welcoming them. She tells them that she speaks for the Creator, the Alpha and Omega of all existence. She says humankind faces a choice. All those who enter the gates like this one will return to their Creator in peace. She tells Carla that she must enter this gate and return to tell humankind the truth about what lies on the other side. Carla asks what will happen to those that don't enter the gates. The woman says that the sphere contains the event horizon of a black hole, and it gets closer to Earth every second. In the end, it will destroy the Earth. Sen tells Carla she has permission to proceed into the gate. The woman then turns into Carla's mom, and getting all emotional, Carla walks into the gate. Carla finds herself in a beautiful green field behind a gorgeous golden city. Her daughter is there. They both start running towards each other, but the vision ends before they can reach one another. Carla wakes up back on the ship in terrible condition. She asks what happened, and Ulf says she came out of the gate barely able to stand, and he carried her back on the ship. She notices that Sean isn't there, and Ulf simply says he didn't make it. Vance appears on call and tells Carla that the whole world is waiting to hear what she saw beyond the gate. As she is recalling her experience, she notices a slight smirk on Sen's mouth and stops halfway. She doesn't mention the part where she saw her daughter. Vance and Sen tell her to rest and both leave. She again asks what happened to Sean, and Ulf says his suit ruptured. She doesn't believe him. She says she needs to get back down to the sphere, but Ulf says they are already preparing to go back home. She asks why are they leaving without any answers. As Ulf is escorting Carla back to her room, they approach an area without any surveillance. Ulf stops there and asks Carla why she held something back when telling her experience. She says Vance and Sen already knew what she saw beyond the gate. They simply wanted her to say it all on camera. She doesn't know why. Carla examines Sean's suit and finds out it wasn't ruptured. She breaks into Sen's cabin and steals his gun and some files. Ulf arrives to stop her. The files say Ulf was a great soldier back on Earth, and Carla asks why is he on this ship. Ulf says Vance simply put him there to keep the peace. He's a hitman hired to tie up loose ends. He's the one who killed Sean. Carla takes Sen and Ulf hostage and demands answers. Vance appears and insists that she has the answers. He says she saw heaven beyond the gate. He shows her that because of her, millions are now starting to walk the gates on Earth. Sen tries to attack Carla, but she shoots him dead. She gets injured in the process. She is about to shoot Ulf, but he convinces her that while he came on board as a hitman, now he also wants to know the truth about what's happening. As Ulf helps stitch Carla up, Carla says she wants to go back to the sphere but can't because Vance has control of Ms. Ulf says he has the code to override Ms., but they'd have to eject a majority of the ship because it is too big to steer manually. Without the bigger part of the ship, there is no way for them to get back to Earth. Ulf says the smaller module can take them to Earth. It would just take 6 years. He says he has another idea. Carla arrives in the command module and demands Vance tell her the truth. He tells her that the sphere is actually a human creation, made from a special material that replicates itself easily to create huge structures. The gates on Earth are made from the same material. He tells her he came up with this plan because the Earth was dying due to overpopulation. The sphere does contain an event horizon, And this whole thing has been set up to convince the people on Earth to willingly step into the gates and kill themselves. Religious sentiment will convince billions to do it, reducing the population drastically. When the population will reach a decent level, the sphere will be destroyed by a military strike. He also reveals that Carla could hear the voices of her mother and daughter because Vance had a microchip placed in her brain after her accident. It made her see and hear what he wanted. It's also how she saw them at the gate. He wanted to give the world a scientist that discovers God to make the whole situation convincing. Carla deduces that Vance probably organized the accident that killed her family in the first place, and he doesn't deny it. Carla tells Vance the story her mother told her of the 5 people stranded in the ocean with resources for only 3. Vance thinks that this means she understands and she will join him now, but Carla says that her mother's answer was to look for fish or an island and give everyone a chance to make their own future. She tells Vance no one gets to play God. Meanwhile, Ulf has been fetching another depleted core to use it to destroy the sphere. Vance tells Miz to self-destruct the ship, but using Ulf's override code, Carla detaches the smaller module of the ship while Ulf arrives just in time. However, the smaller module does not have the ability to detonate the core remotely, so they must do it on the surface of the sphere themselves. They'll both die. Carla and Ulf arrive at the sphere, but Ulf gets out and locks Carla inside. He tells her that she must go back to Earth and tell the truth about all of this. A reluctant Carla has no choice but to comply. She flies the ship off as Ulf detonates the core, destroying the sphere and sacrificing himself. Carla calculates the time back to Earth and it is 7 years. She has a long and lonely journey back. The end.